Have you ever worked on a cruise ship? Well, neither have I, but let's see what it takes to get there. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Josh Chilton and I've been hired as a photographer for Norwegian Cruise Lines. This is my journey. For the next 6 months, I'll be traveling the globe on one of the world's largest cruise ships, and I'm taking you along for the ride. This is what it takes to be a photographer on Norwegian Cruise Lines. Alright, I don't know what part of the video this is gonna get put into, but I've just been transferred. My original flight itinerary was leaving Calgary to Dallas, and then from Dallas to Miami. The flight to Dallas has been delayed, and it would land in Dallas when the flight to Miami leaves, so I'm now being transferred to a different line to Air Canada, and I'm flying to Miami. Sorry, I'm flying to Montreal, and then from Montreal I get to Miami. I'm landing in Miami later than I would have with this original flight itinerary, so I'll probably be sleeping on the plane a bit, but that's all part of the journey, isn't it? I've got to wake up really early tomorrow morning for checkout. I'm hoping the hotel has a pool and I can maybe get a swim in. We'll see how everything goes. Anyway, that's the check-in. So I just got selected for random screening. That was fun. Searched through my bag, swabbed down computers and electronics, and now I'm in the priority line. So that's a fair trade-off for me. Okay, landed in Montreal. I'm running through the halls to get to the US connections because, not accounting for like time changes, my flight leaves in half an hour. Connection to Miami. And this bag is not light. Anyway, I'm sure I'll catch the plane. Okay, I made it. I had to empty my water bottle, and my razor still had a blade in it, like a safety style razor. But the gate was right after customs, so looks like we're all good. Miami at night from the air is absolutely spectacular. You can see where the world just ends as the city moves into the ocean. After collecting my bags at the Miami airport, I found the right spot to wait for the shuttle that would take us to the accommodations Norwegian had provided for that night. Sonesta had this really cool application that allowed us to live track each individual shuttle and show where and when it was going to arrive. And without too much delay, our shuttle had made it and we were on our way to the hotel. Good morning. Shit moves really fast around here. I'm 10 minutes overslept, so I'm packing my bags. My roommate, I had a roommate, they've already left. I don't have time. I was hoping to get up an hour early and start upload for last week's video. That's why it's late. Anyway, I'll hopefully explain at some point. I don't know. That point is now. So I landed at the airplane, as I said, at about 11:40, and then it was like 1 o'clock before we were actually at Sonesta Hotel. There was a mix-up where initially I was given a key and the key didn't unlock the room that I thought it was supposed to, so I went back down and got another key. The issue is, as you've seen, I didn't have a suitcase on wheels. I was carrying around like 2 big heavy bags because the application paperwork Norwegian provided for us said that we wanted to have collapsible luggage in case you were in a small dorm and you didn't have space for your suitcases. So I'm lugging up and down this like 50-pound duffel bag, like a hockey duffel bag, and it was a pain in the ass. Anyway, they gave me a new key and I went up to the room and I opened it up and I saw luggage on the floor and it looked like somebody was in bed. So I'm like, they once again gave me a key to the wrong room. And so I went all the way back down and then back up and talked to them like, no, it's fine. You have a roommate. Because of course they're not going to book one room for one person. They cram as many people into the space as they can. So I opened up, set my bags down, kind of poked his head out of bed, said hello, I said hi, and I collapsed into bed. The next morning I hope to have woken up bright and early at 5 o'clock, get myself dressed and packed, and maybe do some video editing to upload, as I had just stated. However, I snoozed my alarm, woke up with like 5 minutes to spare before we needed to get out of the hotel, threw everything together, and rushed downstairs. I had a really quick and dirty breakfast, which was unsatisfying and honestly overall disappointing, but nothing you can do about that. I spent most of the time just waiting outside of the hotel for the bus to come. There was this really crazy rain thing yeah, just like a column of rain falling out of the sky in one specific spot, and clearly had been going there for a while. I had thought maybe there's like a sprinkler or something on one of the upper floors that's broken, but you couldn't see it. It just looked like a straight beam of water coming from the heavens. Not waiting too long, a Greyhound bus eventually arrived. I helped pack a lot of the bags onto the bus, hoping to ingratiate myself to some of the new and returning employees that were attending the ship. We had a beautiful drive through downtown Miami and then made our way to the docks. Let me introduce you to my home for the next 6 months. This is the breakaway class Norwegian JOY, one of the largest ships in Norwegian's fleet. The JOY is a 170,000 ton mega ship with an overall length of 1,100 meters. It has a crew and guest capacity of 5,000 passengers total, and will be sailing primarily through the Caribbean Sea during my time. As a hotel on sea, it is 20 decks, more than 25 stories tall, and costs $70 million to build. As a guest, it provides all the amenities you can need, and as a crew, it served as a home and work opportunity. Now, getting onto the ship is a very similar experience to airport security. All of your bags have to get scanned. You get marched out in small groups across the boarding docks, which is generally quite dangerous. And then you enter onto the ship and go through further security checks, making sure everyone's in the right spot and has all the things they need. And then comes all the paperwork. We were sat down for about 2 hours running through everything that you would possibly need to know, with no possible way everybody's gonna digest all of that information as a first timer. And I made the mistake of leaving all of my medical documentation in my carry-on luggage, not my personal luggage, which was left at the other end of the docks. So I had to run all the way down the length of the ship to go find my bag and get my medical paperwork, because it hadn't become relevant up until that point, and I thought that it wouldn't be relevant until, of course, I needed it. Now, after being given a tour of the ship and showing some of the amenities for the places we were going to be living and working, I met up with some of my team. They helped me find my cabin, and I was finally able to sit down to do some recording in the moment. Okay, what a ride. I found my room. We have a room. It appears that I am by myself right now. I honestly need to shower and get cleaned up. I didn't shower this morning. God, there's so much to say. A lot of paperwork, a lot of reading. I need a minute to collect my thoughts and see what needs to be said. Okay, well, I just picked up my uniform, shirt, pants, jacket, vest, everything you need, shoes. Went to the tailor, got a pair of pants cut down to size. Everything's good. I'll show you how it looks. All right, so it seems like this is the look. Blue pinstripe shirt, vest, black pants, and these shoes, which are not my typical style, but are comfortable enough, I guess. I hope I'm dressed as all suitable. And then I have another uniform that is more summery. It's a lighter t-shirt, and I've got shorts as well. Getting your bearings on the cruise ship for the first day is like impossible. The internal space is massive. You're going up crew elevators and stairways. The whole thing is a maze. It's amazing. But I had no idea where I was for the first week. Now, the first day on the cruise ship was completely overwhelming, and I still can't remember everything that happened. Every day feels like a week, and I talk about this later in the video. Time moves so fast. And with all that taken care of, my first day on the ship was done. Super overwhelming. They put you to work basically immediately. And then the next morning you have to get up and go and do more training and more registration, more crash course, and just so much information. It's completely overwhelming. Our first stop was Roatan, Honduras, an island nation off the coast of Honduras. I took a vacation here years ago. This is where I learned how to scuba dive, so it was really cool to be back there. The island is absolutely gorgeous. It was my first time taking photos of people as they're getting off the ship in there, and one of our photographers was in a mascot outfit sitting and cooking in the Roatan sun. Eventually he took a break and sat down at a guest bar just to get some water. It's the funniest thing that I've ever seen. As crew, we did get time to go out into port after working. You have a shift in the morning and a shift in the evening, and I'll talk about that in a second. But just being able to sit down, get some food, hang out with some of the new friends that I had made, It was spectacular. The guest port is really beautiful where the ship gets off. You can see a lot of bird and fish life around the area. It feels so tropical and exotic. As beautiful as it was, it did eventually start to rain, but that didn't stop me. Hi, we're in Roatan again. It's raining right now. I'm having the time of my life. It like comes in waves of torrential downpour before pittering out. And I can't be bothered. I'm having a great time. I'm basically getting a free shower. And I'm in the tropics, so I don't know, what isn't there to love, really? I wasn't able to record much of Roatan because I worked before and after the break I had, and I just realized that I cut my vacation time short, an hour.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Because I'm scheduled for 3:30. I thought it was 3:30. It's 2:30. So I'm in uniform now, but I'm an hour early, so I'm gonna hop in the shower, try to cool down because it's pretty hot outside, bandage up my legs because my ankles are really blistering from the shoes that I'm wearing, and then start my shift for the evening. I don't know if you can hear that rattling. I'm in my ship just getting ready for my evening shift. I think we're pulling away from port right now. I'm lower than I was the last time, and everything's vibrating. It's crazy. When I woke up this morning, all my drawers were shifted over. I expected that it probably happened while we were pulling into port because I woke up when we were in port. No, I didn't. It feels like an earthquake. It's honestly really kind of crazy being down so low to the ship. I'm on deck 3, the engine's on deck 1, so I'm like 2 floors above it. I'm not directly above the engine. I think the engines are the back. I'm at the front of the boat. Anyway, it's just new experiences. It's really crazy. Even when you're up higher, when the ship is pulling in and out of port and the engines get starting, the first couple weeks I was there, I could so acutely feel the vibration of the vessel at all times, and eventually you become inured to that. Your sea legs set in and you get used to it. But I was freaking out like this the whole time. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, what a day. It is now day 3 for me. God, there's gonna be a lot of cuts in this video as I'm pausing to collect my thoughts. I'm still really overwhelmed. Every day so far feels like a week. It's Monday, April 4th, and it feels like at least Wednesday. I can't believe that it's only been 3 days. We were reported at Roatan. I think you know this already. We're going to a private island tomorrow. We have a drill. I wouldn't say that I'm learning so much. It's not like, wow, I'm learning everything. There's a lot of information to digest. So I don't think I'm learning a lot about photography right now. It's stuff about the ship and ship life and adapting to everything and meeting people. I'm meeting people constantly. And everybody's really friendly, which is great. It's hard to keep track of it. So you end up in this position really quickly where you're just walking down the hall and it's like, hey, dude, good to see you. Pat on the back, whatever. But I don't remember anybody's name. I had thought for a while that I was the only Canadian on board, and everybody's treating me like a rare animal because most people are from the Philippines or India or South Africa. India, Philippines, and South Africa are the major demographics for cruise ship employees around the world, and there are a variety of reasons for that. But as somebody from kind of the first world, it's very, very rare to see Canadians, Americans, or people from England on the ship. I target those 3 countries specifically because they are like the only countries that I could immediately think of that came to mind, at least on the Norwegian JOY specifically. And when people were introduced to me, your name tag has your country listed, so they'd see I'm from Canada, and especially the Filipino guys are like, what the fuck are you doing here? Because their goal is to get to Canada, and working on the ship is a way to do that. So they're like, why the fuck are you running away from paradise? Grass is greener on the other side, of course. But that was my response, like everybody, constantly. Just people freaking out because I'm Canadian and it's so unusual to see somebody from Canada working on a cruise ship. And I was the only one pretty much my entire contract, except for right at the beginning. And I just learned, one of the band guys that I know just outside my room. He bumped into me. He's like, hey, there's a guy who's one of the performers, and he's from Canada, and he thought he was the only Canadian. I'm like, yeah, we totally got to hook up. I did eventually meet him. He was part of the theater production, absolute Adonis of a man, from Calgary as well, which is absolutely crazy because everyone from Canada is probably from Toronto. To meet another Calgarian on the ship was absolutely ridiculous, and we got along like old friends. The shoes they provided for us have really poor heels, and they're grinding in and giving me blisters. So this is the solution that I've come up with. I'm duct taping my heel to try to get some padding on my fucking blister. And it appears to have worked. The top of my feet have been hurting all day, and obviously you can see why. But my ankle's a lot better, so I'm probably going to keep doing some variety of this, maybe taping on top of my sock. I did this every day for over a month. It seems like I'm going to be functioning on primarily 7 hours of sleep per night. You end up getting up at 7 o'clock to start duties and do morning stuff, and I'm going to bed around midnight. So maybe that changes, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't. My schedule ends up looking like this, where I'm on from 7:30, a break in the middle, and then on for the evening till 10 o'clock. And it actually ends up being closer to 10:30 most days. I'm pretty badly sunburned from being out in the sun for 3 hours this morning, and I forgot to put sunscreen on. I did buy sunscreen, I'm just not using it. Or rather, I forgot to use it, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm sure you can see that my face is red too. Anyway, that's going to be it for here. I'm probably going to continue with the voiceover stuff, but I just wanted to check in and record a clip live for you. Okay, I've just been outside taking photos of people, and we're having an emergency drill right now, so I'm waiting to hear a signal and go and do my thing. I can't tell you about any of that, obviously, but I'm recording this bit, and maybe I will narrate and explain later. Every single week, once a week, the entire crew must participate in a mandatory drill where we go over safety procedures and what to do in the event of an emergency. So anytime you're going on a cruise ship, the crew is extremely well trained and prepared for emergency situations. I can't really talk about the emergency situations and codes and all of that stuff because I would get in trouble from Norwegian probably, but I can tell you that we do practice and do a drill every single week, and it runs like an actual emergency. This typically happens, or rather this always happens on a port day, so 90% of the guests should be off the ship going and exploring port, and you should be too if you're ever on a cruise ship. That's what you're there to do, and we stay behind and get to run through drill stuff. I'm going to be talking about general crew drill and safety procedure in a later video, so stay tuned for that, but that's what I can tell you for today at least. Anyway, everybody, that's going to be it for my first time ever being on a cruise ship and my initial experience. I hope you enjoyed. There's a lot more to come and a lot more amazing destinations that I saw in my time. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, all of that garbage. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. And if you stayed past the credits, leave a comment letting me know what questions you have about the cruise ship experience, and I'll see about talking about those in another video. Thank you everybody so much. Take care now.